I just want you to know that I'm proud of you and all that comes with you. You can't cherry pick like the good and the bad. You have to love the whole person.
I love you too, babe. Feet and all. From the feet up.
Not today, honey. I did a self-tanner yesterday.
Oh, man.
It was not good. And I have that
love
thing
when
that
you do
happens to your elbows.
I love when you do that. Looks like you got dipped in dog shit. You got brown spots all over. It's looking crazy.
No, it's really sad.
Like it looks good, right? Does this look like I was tan? No, look how you fell in a fucking porta potty. What's the matter with you? What's wrong? You look like a half-eaten Tootsie Roll.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
No,
What's
it's
wrong
just
with
the
you?
bottom of the skin, like the elbows.
Yeah. It's sexy.
Palms of the hand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ay, ay, ay. Welcome back, kiddos, to another ep of Till the Dirt with Tommy and MJ. I know we can't talk about it because it's going to be after the fact. I just want to get it off my chest. This weekend is very exciting.
Listen, I'm very proud of you. One of the things that I know I'm not very good at is getting in front of a bunch of people and talking. And, it's one thing to get up there and like tell a joke or two, but it's another thing to get up there and give a speech. And you're going to be doing that this weekend. And you usually do that without a problem. So I'm real proud of you. I think you're going to crush it. For those of you that don't know, my wife is going to be doing the Women's Expo in Arizona, in Phoenix this year. She's going to be a keynote speaker.
Shout out Mario Lopez. Shout out to Cynthia Bailey. We're going to be the 3 keynote speakers this weekend. And by the time you guys hear this, everything we're talking about right in this moment already happened. Because we're about to head to Phoenix, Arizona. And I'm just so excited.
I'm excited for you. It's quite an accomplishment for you, though. You should be real proud.
You guys, today,
I don't know if it's going to be too outdated by the time this comes out. Actually, if it's old news by then. But today, the streets are talking. Instagram's down. Facebook is down.
It was a worldwide hack.
Yeah, man. People are going through withdrawals. Literally, people are going through Instagram withdrawals on the street. You can see them scratching at themselves like a dope bitch. You can see them freaking out. Meanwhile, Zuckerberg, I think he's, in San Tropez playing bocce ball. What do you think he is? He's definitely not at his desk. I'll tell you that.
I heard that people cannot even walk into their jobs at Facebook because people can't even access their badges in order to get inside the building.
It's anarchy. It's chaos. I don't know what people are going to do.
Oh, you know what I just read? Hot off the press. It is not a hack. It looks like Facebook shut down everything after last night's episode of 60 Minutes, the expose where they're cleaning up their tracks. The whistleblower, Frances Haugen, the 60 Minutes interview.
That makes sense. I didn't get to see it. I was too deep in football, but I actually wanted to see that.
Sure were, honey.
Yeah, I wanted to see that.
Sure were.
They shut it all down.
You know what? One thing you could look forward to in life is, what if I become a football fan?
No, I would hate it.
I could be sitting next to you all day long on Sunday.
Because you would never become enough of a fan to know what the hell was going on. So then through all of the day, you would be asking me what the hell was going on. And it would become incredibly frustrating.
No.
Yes. Which way? Which way do I go? Which way? Like in softball. Which way?
I do want to know how they put the flags on the field where it looks like a digital thing and then they move it every play. How does that work that it looks like on home there's a bright neon yellow thing that says like 1st and 10.
You were right the first time. They do it digitally.
But it makes it look like the field has it too.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. It's amazing how far we've come. It's amazing.
It's really not.
It really is.
So
no,
the
it's
people
not.
in person just
they
know?
don't change that from play to play. On the field. Yeah, sorry. That would be amazing. I understand. It's not what's going on.
They don't do that in basketball or baseball. We just can keep track of those 3 bases, but the yards need to be counted in football.
Because the yards matter in football. Inch by inch is a cinch. Yard by yard, it's hard.
All right. Well, I love that the trailblazer in our podcast is you, and you always tell us what we're going to talk about every week. So will you tell me what we're talking about today?
Well, this week, I think that every relationship, you have fights, right? Some fights are passing. Some fights last longer. After we moved in together, this is, the first fight that we had.
All right. Are we going to talk about, you're saying it's the date. Have you guys ever had a night that you've planned that you cared about, something you were really looking forward to, and the whole night went left. Because guys, this is what we're going to talk about today, which is a night where we planned something important and special for us and everything went left.
We've had a lot of fights. I'm just isolating this one fight because it was a funny fight. And listen, part of the reason I wanted to talk about this,
Tommy.
but part of the reason I wanted to talk about this is because we just were actually talking about it the other day. And here I'm thinking that the situation was resolved. I was right. She was wrong. Everybody knows it. Come to find out, she's still talking about that she was right. She's going to tell her side of the story as to what happened. I'm going to tell my side of the story as to what happened. And then I want you folks out there to, once Zuckerberg gets back on his game and they get Instagram, they get all these social media platforms back on, I want you to reach out on our Till the Dirt socials and tell us where your vote is. Who do you think was right? Who do you think was wrong? Now, normally I would let ladies go first, but I'm going to give my side of the story first. Without going too far into the weeds, as people know, my buddies and I, we were starting a business up. The business was Ignition Interlocks, criminal offender monitoring. Those are the
Nobody knows what those words are.
Ignition interlock is when you get a DUI, the thing that you have to get installed in your vehicle, that you have to blow in, that will start your car. It's not a breathalyzer. Anybody can build a breathalyzer. This is only for people that have been arrested or convicted of a DUI.
Okay.
So the barrier of entry to get into this business is very, very high. It's very, very difficult. It's, costs a lot of money, takes a lot of time. You have to send these devices to NHTSA laboratories. They have to be approved before you could ever put a device in a vehicle. Long story short, we've gotten our approval. Now we're starting to put these devices into vehicles, so we're starting to make some money. All right. One of the first things that I want to do is something nice for my wife, or not at the time, my girlfriend, who's been basically carrying me this time while we've been doing this. So I decide to bring us to a concert.
No.
Lionel Richie.
Lying already.
Lionel Richie at the Hollywood Bowl. And anybody out there can attest. If you've ever been to LA, if you ever like live music, and I don't even like live music, but the best venue you'll ever hear a concert at is the Hollywood Bowl. It's beautiful. It's small. It's a great place to see a show. And I come home from work to bring this one to go to the show. She puts on these heels that are like 15 feet long. It's in the Hollywood Hills, so we're going to be walking most of the night.
No.
I knew right away we had a problem. Right away there's a problem.
No.
As we're going to the bowl, there's just crazy amounts of traffic. It's like we're not going to be able to get to the show on time. Something's wrong. There's literally something has to be wrong for the amount of traffic that there is. So we decided to get out and walk. She's got these shoes on.
That's not true.
The walk's a nightmare. Just to get to the venue is a nightmare.
No, because you made an amateur move and you tried to talk me into getting out of a taxi instead of letting the taxi drop us off.
We did get out. I didn't try to.
We shouldn't have.
Get out.
We should have just let the taxi. There's certain things that you wouldn't do. Like I'll make a cab do an illegal U-turn.
It wasn't a cab. It was an Uber.
Okay, and
it was an
I
Uber
would make
Jeep.
him.
It was an Uber SUV. So like that, even that already is more money than
by
we should.
the way, talking about how hard you were working on Blow and Drive is a little bit of a manipulation.
Not at all.
It's a sob story.
Not at all. This is what went down. The big money tickets. These were expensive seats. The best of the best. And we get there, and I have a friend. It's a term that I use. Okay, I feel like every guy and girl has their counterpart, has their Jenny. Like if you watch Forrest Gump, Forrest has his Jenny. Jenny's in his life through his whole life. She does her thing, he does his thing, but they're like best friends. I have a Jenny. I mean, Forrest eventually bangs Jenny and has a kid with her. I'm not going that crazy. Jessica's my Jenny. She knows Jessica.
No way.
She knows Jessica.
You're not even telling this story in a way that someone who doesn't know it already can follow it.
Again, Jessica's my very good friend.
Since I'm from my whole life.
No, I'm telling the truth. Just because the truth makes you look like a shitty person doesn't mean that it's still not the truth. So by like pulling teeth, I get her to get out of the Uber. Now, mind you,
by the way, is this my birthday?
No, it's not.
Okay, what's the date of said Lionel Richie concert? I can Google it if you try to lie to me.
Actually, you know what? It was your birthday.
Fuck
it
you.
wasn't the day of
So
your birthday.
thank you, asshole.
But the tickets
So
were
you
for
can go
your birthday.
eat a dick.
The tickets were for your birthday.
Thank you.
Now, again, mind you, as you might have heard in
Wah,
other episodes,
wah,
I would get up
wah.
for work at, the
Do you
crack
have
of
a
dawn.
case closed?
I get up for
sound bite where like there's like a door and it just goes on boom.
Yeah, so
My memory serves me.
I would leave
just
at like 5
at the
in the
right
morning.
time.
I would leave at 5 in the morning. I
Who
would get
gives
home
a
like
shit?
at 3.
What time you leave?
No.
What time did you go to bed the night before?
I get home that day.
Nobody cares.
My wife is already tuned up. By the time I get in, she's already like a bottle of wine deep.
I had to wake up early. Of course, it's called a dresser.
She
Nobody ever pre-games before they go to a concert.
Yes.
You sound like a fucking buzzkill.
So then we get out of this car, and she's a bottle of wine deep. She got 15-foot high heels on.
No, I actually
She's
will
a
post them.
fucking nightmare on this whole walk. Why'd you get out of the car? Why the fuck do you do this? You're so fucking stupid. It's really going well. And then we get there, and things are better. Things are better. We're finally in. We get to our seats. So we're sitting there. Mariah Carey is opening for Lionel Richie. She's got that song, We Belong Together, and that friend of mine, Jessica, it was a very important song to her when she was going through a rough breakup. Mariah Carey's a big star. She's opening for Lionel Richie. That's how, so this place is packed, dude. He doesn't do a lot of these shows, and she starts singing that song. So I immediately called Jessica to say, look, she's singing this song. I turn around. My wife, or at the time, my beautiful girlfriend, told me,
I was your fiance.
Go fuck yourself. You're a fucking asshole, and left. She literally left the concert that I had just spent.
A lot of money.
Yeah, a lot of money. Then I walked home from the Hollywood Bowl, and then I always thought that she recognized the fact that what she did was childish, immature, stupid, a waste of money.
No.
And turns out we just had this conversation. See, she's still back.
I
She
stand
still
behind
thinks
it.
that she was right. She still thinks that she was right.
I don't think, sweetheart. I know.
What's your side of this story?
Okay. So, first of all, when you're telling someone, I'm taking you for your birthday, obviously, I appreciate that you're a hardworking man growing a company, right? So you don't need the sob story. Oh, ignition interlock means that repeat offend. Like, you don't need to paint that whole thing. Like, you busted your ass and you decided to do something nice for your girlfriend, fiance, who deserved it, according to you, allegedly, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
it happened to be a huge song for me. Lionel Richie, Mariah Carey. Like, one of my favorite songs is Easy Like Sunday Morning. You know this.
You are never easy like Sunday Morning, by the way. You shouldn't be allowed to have that song in your catalog.
And so for my birthday, I turned out the hottest I ever thought I looked in my entire life. I wore this number that was white. It was bodysuit. It had lingerie trim on it. And yes, I topped it off with 4-inch, which I will post the picture on Instagram of the exact heels. They are Christian Louboutin with no
heels have committed
platform.
suicide
They're
already.
pink.
Those
They're satin.
Those heels
and
killed
they-
themselves after that night, dude.
No.
They were punished enough.
Let me explain.
Those things are no longer in existence. The Smithsonian may have them.
Okay. So in consideration of this beautiful fiance that you want to do something so nice for, maybe a man would think, sweetheart, look how dolled up you got. Look at these beautiful shoes that mean so much to you. If I really love you and I'm really being thoughtful and pragmatic, as most women want their man to be, let me make sure that you don't walk uphill sweating your balls off in a
Well, then
lingerie
maybe
outfit.
You could have got into the car an hour before that because you wore it home all day, able to get ready.
You told
to
me
go
not to
on.
interrupt you.
Okay, well, you did, even after you were told. But go ahead. Like, you were home all day. So you could have got ready. I could have came home. We could have just left. That isn't what happened. We had to wait for you to get ready for another hour. And then we hit the traffic. And then we had to walk. I mean, you're right. If we didn't get out of the car, we could have just stayed in said car, maybe thrown on a Lionel Richie CD, and it would have just been the equivalent.
Were we late for the concert?
Yeah, no.
No.
Why? Because we got out and walked.
No.
Yes.
Did we miss the concert?
Yeah, because you walked out.
So-
because you left.
Let's be very clear. We lived very close to the Hollywood Bowl. The traffic was normal for a night. There's a concert.
Okay.
Anytime that you live a block away from a place that has a concert, there's going to be a lot of traffic. The reason the traffic was nuts is because of the concert we were going to. It's always congested, but we were only like 2 blocks away.
No, we weren't. We
So-
were never making it on time. And you know we were never
There's
making
something,
it on time.
let me ask you a question. If I am your date, is there a point in the night where you're supposed to get mad at me? If I want to sabotage the night, that's on me. That's my birthday.
You did.
At what point in the night is it okay for a man to ruin a girl's time? Suppose I could have started getting ready earlier or whatever your point is. What you're suggesting is that there's a point in the night where you can stop being nice, chivalrous, considerate, sweet, thoughtful, gentle. The whole point is I got dressed up for you, for us, for me, for my birthday to make it epic. You bring up these weird points like I was home all day. Don't interrupt me. I'm giving you my cross-examination. I was home all day. Therefore what? Therefore, I put in a lot of time and thought into this night that mattered a lot to me. If I wore really nice shoes, that was also because that's how much I care. If I was going to wear sneakers, no, because I'm not a sneaker girl. You didn't date a sneaker girl. You weren't married to a sneaker girl.
Anytime we go anywhere now, you're late. So it's not like that was an isolated incident.
Exactly. You knew what you were getting into.
Okay.
I had heels on when you met me. Like there was no surprises in who I gave you the night of this concert. I was the same old MJ that I am today and that I was the day before, the month before, the year before, and the year after. So here's the deal. When a woman is wearing a beautiful pair of heels, she is not going to ruin those shoes because you want to get to the door 25 seconds sooner. She will stroll at her own motherfucking pace.
Okay, great.
And the sooner that you realize these things, your life will be smoother. Just like when you wear your favorite Jordans, and you have a lot of those, that some bust your feet up, and you say it at the end of the night. You're like, God, I love wearing these shoes, but they really hurt my feet. Rule number 1, don't drop your girl off 5 blocks away when she's wearing red bottom shoes that are pink and satin and beautiful with bows on them. Okay. Number 2, when we got to the concert, by the way, you were not making a big enough fuss over me. I wanted more attention.
We just
Number
got there.
3.
We literally just got there. We just walked
Your
in.
overall mood was not festive. If you wanted to be festive, you're not going to care if there's a traffic jam. You're going to be like, you know what, baby? It's good. It's all good.
And you think you were festive. You don't think you were. You don't think you were
I was
bitchy at
vibing
all?
off you. I know exactly why
so
we
it's
got
my
in a lot
fault.
of fights. Once we got to the concert, you were out in the concession stand trying to get us all the good things. And when you came back from the concession stand, you then left again for a really long time. By the time you came back from that, you should have known that picking up the phone to call your girlfriend and pull your phone up in the sky was the wrong move, bruh. It was the wrong move. Sell your story better.
I don't need to.
At least say I left you in.
No, you're the one who just
beautiful-
sells the story all fucked up and made it sound like I'm just here and then I leave here and then I leave again. And I had to wait in line to get. I want a 2 bottles of wine. I want fucking a sandwich. I want this. I literally like. Now where are you going? To fucking piss.
Considering you were gone for such a long time,
You shouldn't pee. You should just hold it in.
considering you were gone for such a long time, taking 2 trips. Granted, the concession stand, then you went to the bathroom. When you come back, the last thing on your mind should have been, let me call my friends in New York for the Mariah Carey song that sounds like I said freeway traffic noise for her. You were not present for me. So it was a lot of mechanical errors on a man's part. You're so married to this story.
I'm married
that
to you.
failed.
I'm not married to anyone. I'm
You're
married
so
to the
committed.
truth. And the truth is what I said. So let the people judge. I said,
Let's be logical.
let's be logical.
We got there before the opener, you didn't get stressed out because of traffic. You got stressed out because you were just stressed out.
No, I got stressed out because I was at work all day. I came home and then you still weren't ready. And then we had to take an Uber that left us.
Sounds like you were pretty stressed out from work.
Yeah, that was. You would think that you would be someone sympathetic to that. Instead, you weren't.
So the straw that broke the camel's back for me is that after all of these strikes, and there were many, and it had all to do with I wanted a very special kind of attention. I wanted it to be Valentine's Day, my birthday, and all the other things wrapped up into one night. I wanted that.
Okay.
I deserved that.
Okay.
I expected that. That's the worst thing is I expected it. I had this idea of what I wanted the night to be like. And when you were not on that same wavelength, you were in the let's go do this and the logistics and the tickets and the let me call Jessica. And then I just felt like you weren't present.
Let's just blow the night
By
up.
the time that I felt like you weren't present, the whole idea of like rocking back and forth with my love, with like the man that I love, that I passionately am into, isn't giving me the attention I want. And he would rather make a long distance phone call.
The long distance, dude. It's cell phones, bro. There's no long distance phone call.
He would
There's no such thing
rather,
anymore.
as I said, he would rather make a long distance telephone call with his cell phone to Jessica, his best friend, girlfriend, who is his Jenny, who is in New York, who is at home, who is on the receiving end of this phone call while he's at a concert, and he's sticking his cell phone up in the air, which is basically going to sound like freeway noise, and then neglect me, who's standing right next to him. Okay, people, go ahead and vote.
Yeah.
Should I have been upset?
And then she followed that with, go fuck yourself, you piece of shit. I'm out of here.
No.
And she left.
I sent text messages from my seat to you and Jessica saying, this is bullshit. Why don't you guys just go to the concert together? And she'll attest to that to this day.
Yeah.
Go ahead, ladies and gentlemen. I know you guys listen as couples a lot because you tell me that and that you tell us that, and that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm dying to know what you think.
So here's the deal. Should I have been upset? Did I have a right to be upset?
Upset is upset for the reaction that you made and you did. There's definitely
Can't move the goalposts, Tommy.
What?
You can't move the goalposts.
You're the one that's moving the goalpost. I'm dying to hear from you folks. Send this in. Let me know. Don't be partial, because I know a lot of you broads like my wife better than me or like identify with her better than me. I'm asking you to be honest, and I'm asking you to be...
A lot of people actually say they wish that they had a Tommy, and a lot of people say...
We'll see what happens when the rubber meets the road. This is the first time that your loyalty's being questioned. Is it me or my wife?
All right.
I want to know.
Just want to know one thing. So imagine, put yourself in my position. We belong together. Who's gonna love me when it's a... Who's gonna take your place? There ain't nobody better. Oh, baby, baby, we belong together. And then you take your phone, dial another girl, put your hand up in the air, and start talking to that person instead of being.
She talked to this girl all the time too.
Me.
It wasn't like this girl wasn't like a random like who's this girl.
And in
she
that
talked
moment,
to Jessica all the
when
time.
Mariah Carey is live on stage,
She
I
talked
called
to Jessica
her
all the time.
And during that time, that's a moment when I decided to call somebody.
No, you don't have any friends. I don't know what to tell you. I got friends.
Okay.
I got friends, and they mean a lot to me.
What's-
And I saw Mariah Carey; she'd be pumped.
So I stormed off and I was like, you know what? What am I doing? This guy doesn't even appreciate me. He doesn't even understand this outfit. He has no idea how much thought went into this. And he's just not in the moment. Like, he just doesn't get me. He doesn't get me. So I'm so fuming and hurt and disappointed. And like, how do you turn around from there? So I just was like, you know what?
And we live together now. So there's no, you're going this way, you're going that way. We're going to be meeting back at home. So this is like the first fight that we've had where now there's no neutral corners. There's nowhere to hide. We got to go back and we got to deal with it.
So the reason why I wanted to leave was because the only way I thought I can communicate and convey an important message for the rest of our lives is if you don't treat me right and be present with me in the moment, then it doesn't matter how much money we spent. It doesn't matter where we got off in the Uber. What matters is that we are in an attitude of like being happy and grateful for being together to celebrate a moment. Otherwise, we're going to end up in separate cabs, going home and missing a concert. If you're not present in the moment with that person, then you fucking take your fucking Lionel Richie concerts and shove them up your ass for the rest of your life. If you wanted to date someone who wore, Vans or whatever, then you could have picked someone who swiped right on someone who wears Vans or whatever.
Yeah, there we go.
I am someone who never wore anything
That's
like that.
it. We're going to give the baby up for adoption. That's it. It's over. If you wanted someone who wore Vans, you should have picked someone who wore fucking Vans, right? All right. Okay. So basically, to wrap up how that all went down that night, she went her way, I went my way, and then we get home. And when I got home, because I walked, it was like, 4 miles from Hollywood Bowl to the house. So I walked and it was, I was sweating like a bum and we never talked about it. She had gotten pizza. We ate.
Do you know why you chose to walk?
Because I was super pissed.
So you wanted to just
get it off.
So you wanted to just burn that energy off.
I wanted
to
walk it off. I just assumed that you knew how obviously wrong and selfish and
you thought
big of a pain in the ass you were. So I accepted your silence and you're ordering your pizza for both of us as, your apology. But I just remember there was pizza for both of us. And it wasn't, they didn't have pine, like yours had the pineapple. It was, you got pizza for me too. So that's why I thought it was your peace offering. Because as we've all discussed ad nauseum, the Persians aren't quick to apologize. So this, in my mind, was my wife's version of an apology. Come to find out, fast forward till just a few nights ago, 2 nights ago, she still thinks she was right. So we need you people to settle the argument and let us know who was right, who was wrong.
You people.
Yes.
Okay. If we could go back and do this again, what would we do different? Because I really want a makeup date for this.
I would have brought Jessica.
I really want a makeup date for this night.
Okay. Well, you've had a bunch. I also took you to front row center to, the Mary J. Blige concert, flew your cousin down. Like, we'll get to that too. I'm a romantic guy. I know how to give gifts. You want to go on another date? All right, we could go on one, but let's not act like this is the last date that we ever went on. It's the last date that we ever went on that you acted like a fucking nut and walked out. I don't even know if that's the last time you did that either. You might have done that again as well.
You're making me mad right now because by bringing up the Lionel Richie concert, you ripped off an old Band-Aid, which still had some little blood and pus underneath it. And now, yes, I want you to make it up to us. I just want a date night makeup, a do-over for that night.
How's this? Whoever loses has to make it up to the other one via the date that they would like.
Okay.
I.e., my perfect date would be, leave me the fuck alone and let me watch Monday Night Football. Your perfect date would be me doing something very romantic for us.
Do you realize that saying your perfect date would be leave me the fuck alone?
No,
and watch
it's not, you know what I mean?
Football is not going to get you any points in the.
No, but what I'm saying is, a win for me isn't necessarily you
Going
drag
out
me
with
out.
me.
You just, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
I do, but that's problematic. So
it's not problematic. I love you. I spend every weekend with you. We're together all the time. Sometimes, to me be able to, watch a game without interruption or without being bothered.
Wow, you're really getting derailed right now.
It's one of my favorite
just when
things.
you were starting to build a strong case for yourself, you just said my ideal makeup date is to be left alone watching football.
No, because you're never going to pick my ideal date.
You pick your ideal date.
I'll knock your date out of the park.
What your ideal date is, plan that for us so then it'll be perfect for you. In relationships, the partner that wants something can create it. You can ask for the person, hey, I would love a long walk on the beach and sushi dinner. Okay, then create it. Don't wait for me to do it wrong by taking you for Chinese food and going to a boardwalk.
I have no idea what you just said. I don't even think you know what you just said.
Create your own destiny.
Okay.
So what's your ideal date?
Well, first off, I don't like a lot. I'm not a big date guy, but yeah, it would probably be something to go see entertainment wise, whether that be like a comedy show, whether it be a sporting event. It'd be something along those lines, and food. But you already knocked it out of the park this year with me. You went back with me to New York to make sure that Shams' first baseball game was in New York. Which was very important to me. And last year with COVID, that wasn't an option. You did that this year. And then we came back and we drove to San Diego and we went to see, 3 more Met games. So that's it, kid. I don't need more than that. I'm good. Do you want me to ask you what your ideal date is?
Quality time, baby.
Which is?
It's more of like an attitude where there's no phones out for either one of us. And we have a lot of quality attention given back and forth mutually to each other.
Sounds phenomenal.
So it could be anywhere. We could be eating anything. We could be doing anything. So looking back now, what would we do differently if we had a second shot on this date?
If it was me, nothing. Again, that's why we're putting this to a vote with the audience. So because I know I'm right. I didn't do anything wrong. So I wouldn't have to change anything. It was you and your rude and unappreciative behavior that would have to be changed. So what would you have done differently now, looking back, knowing that how wrong you were?
From the minute we got into the car, I would have tried to discourage stressing out over traffic.
Okay, but so by you saying that about the traffic, then
Our attitudes.
You in turn also admitted that you were wrong.
No, I'm saying if you're on a date...
I think you're saying that that you were wrong and that, you could have been better. All right, that pretty much sums it up. Now we'll have their vote and we'll know who was right, even though we all already know that I was right. And
so here's what you're not noticing. You live with me.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
married to me.
I'm aware.
You need to squash this with me.
We didn't squash what? We didn't have a beef.
This is a disagreement. So what I would do differently is not let anyone get upset over the fact that there's things you can't control, such as traffic jams on your way to the ingress of a concert. Name a time that anyone has ever gone into a concert where there's not traffic. So don't let those little things mess up your mood.
Fantastic. And this is part of the episode where we answer your questions, but because of that whole Facebook, Instagram, social media disaster that went on, we weren't able to post questions and get answers. I'm going to there was one of you guys, I was supposed to read your question and I forgot. So I told you to send me another question. I'll make sure it gets read. So she actually had 2 questions, so we'll read both of them. Her name is Jane Smith, or Plain Jane 614. And the question that she asked, well, the first one was, what would you do with your life if you suddenly became a billionaire? Stumped you, huh?
Well, I would start a bunch more companies. I would build a school in our house. I would adopt a bunch of more kids. I would create a command center here at home, which would be a larger home, so that we could go to different wings and go to our several different businesses. We'd have like corporate offices.
Why do you need all these businesses? You already have the money in the bank.
I like it. I like to work and be productive and make a difference in the world.
Okay.
One of them would be set up for like LGBTQIA plus.
So you're talking about starting nonprofits.
Yeah, things that were very give back. And I would get some more kids.
On like the Silk Road?
Give Shams some siblings.
On the dark web, you're going to buy some babies? Mm-hmm. Billions could definitely do it.
We would definitely get a surrogate immediately.
A whole slew of them. We have like 50 surrogates. Well, I would say by the Mets, but the Mets were recently bought by a billionaire. So who's got
Steve Cohen,
who would have more money because he's got $16 billion. You're only giving me $1 billion. It'd be almost like useless to me. Like I can't even use your billion because it's not enough. I need more if I wanted to buy the Mets, which is what I would want to do if I was given a whole bunch of money. I could run the team right, finally get us a World Series, and this way I could die in fucking peace. Her second question, alternate question. stovetop or homemade stuffing?
Oh, I don't know how to make stuffing. I would make it home. I would make it by a Martha Stewart YouTube page.
Yeah, that's all you need nowadays is the YouTube. You know, I'm a
I've
good
made
cook, but I'm really not.
I've made a really good, what's that thing I make for you? Meat.
The shepherd's pie.
I make a really good shepherd's pie, and it's Martha Stewart.
Yeah, I mean,
I also learned how to do the steak on Martha Stewart.
I'm a good cook, but it's all a lie. It's all a house of cards. I use YouTube videos, you know, any YouTube. That's how I learn how to cook. That's how I cook, is through a video or a recipe that I think that I like or that I will like. As far as her question's concerned, I prefer to make stuffing as opposed to stovetop to stuffing, which is also good. It's not bad, but stuffing's not that difficult to make. So I feel like you put a little extra effort in, it will come out a little bit better. You know, I just want to say before we get out of here again, I'm real proud of you. You're going to be doing that speech this weekend.
Everyone listening
By the time
now,
everybody hears this, it'll be
it
past
already
news.
happened.
I'm sure you'll have knocked them dead. I'm sure you'll have broken a leg. I'm sure that you'll have done all the
legs.
Yeah, I'm sure you have done all the great things.
Your cans look
I'm proud
sick.
of you. Your son's proud of you. And I think it's great that you're going to be doing it.
Thank you guys again for tuning in. We can't wait to see you next week. Same place, same time. Don't forget to comment. We love your feedback. You can DM us anything that's on your mind. Follow us, and you can book us through the Cameo app. Until next time. Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of Till the Dirt with Tommy and MJ. We're so happy you're coming on this journey with us. It would mean so much to us if you would rate our show, give us 5 stars, leave a nice comment, and subscribe so that you can stay up to date with all our new episodes. You could also follow us on all platforms at Till the Dirt with Tommy and MJ. See you next week.